Okay, everyone. So, good morning. My name is Lisa Murata, and I have the pleasure of serving as mayor for the town of Rocky Hill for the past 5 years. And we are super excited to bring to you this morning our very first annual State of the Town, which is an opportunity for you to hear from your state lawmakers, from the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce, and from department heads, our superintendent of schools, and then have an opportunity to ask questions. So we're going to get started right away, and the first person I would like to call up is our state representative, Carrie Wood. So this, you can spacebar, and you can.
Good morning. It's so great to see everyone. We were thinking maybe 20 or 30 people, and to see a packed house and people standing, this is so exciting. Okay. All right, so what are we doing up at the state? Well, I get asked all the time, can you help us with some money? And so over the years, I've worked with the leadership within the town, and we have brought some really great money for the town for projects like Elmridge Park. You can see that the former skate park is being converted into a pickleball court. Town Green, we are looking to expand and enhance the Town Green through a $500,000 grant from the state. Our favorite campus, our Veterans Home campus, we just brought $5 million for upgrades to existing housing there. I toured with many of you in this room through the campus who told me over the years, there's some really great housing that's just sitting vacant up there. Well, we went and got a tour, brought the majority leader from the House of Representatives, showed them that there is housing here and we can put people in it tomorrow if it just had a little bit of investment. And we were able to get that done last budget cycle. Recently, we brought $2 million to the Rocky Hill Housing Authority, which is going to upgrade the 70 units there, and also additional $55,000 for planning. There's a 3 to 5 year wait list, and people want to live there, but there's only 70 units. So that should tell us that we need to be building more and looking at the feasibility of doing that. Additionally, Rocky Hill has space for phase 2, I believe it's called, of our industrial park. Our industrial park is full. People are, there's great businesses there. Businesses are working with each other. They are expanding and they're looking for more room. But if you took our current industrial park and opened it up for business tomorrow, trucks couldn't drive over a culvert there. So working with the town, we designated $500,000 for design and engineering for a new bridge into our industrial park. And the state also works with the town on things like sidewalks and trail maintenance and investing in affordable housing. So I am working with the community daily on bringing money in for Rocky Hill. Some bills to watch this session. HB 5001, this is a huge omnibus bill dealing with seniors and elder care. We have heard over the years that going into long-term care facilities is not really up to par with what we would like here in Connecticut. We are making sure that there's staffing ratios, quality healthcare providers, certified healthcare providers, and also recruitment and retention within this field, which means we have to pay people more that are dealing with people in long-term care. Another bill you're going to be hearing a lot about is HB 5004. This is a large omnibus climate change bill. And hearing everyone's comments in this room about their concerns with things like electric vehicles in the past, we're looking more to do a carrot versus the stick methodology here, which is providing incentives. And that would mean providing incentives to the town of Rocky Hill, the school system, buildings that we have here to install solar, geothermal, other sorts of energies, allowing businesses. I see a lot of business owners in this room. Thank you to those that have sponsored us today. Allowing you to tap into resources to maybe convert your restaurant into a cleaner energy. This is not a mandate, but more of incentivizing people to go towards cleaner energy. Scary, but we do have food insecurity right here in Rocky Hill. HB 5001 will provide a dedicated source of funding to food banks like Rocky Hill's Food Bank. Believe it or not, but we have a large percentage of our families and our seniors using the food bank daily. I am the chair of the Real Estate and Insurance Committee, so I'm just going to touch upon some bills that are really exciting in my committee. First, we're looking at allowing small businesses to have two different options for healthcare. One is a copay-only plan, meaning you don't pay premiums. Another is allowing small businesses and nonprofits to pool together and buy insurance like a large company. This next bill is very exciting and personal to me because we had devastation amongst our local farms here over the past year, if not longer. And this is a farmer's captive. It's a dedicated insurance fund to fund farmers during extreme weather incidents. Other states have put their money where their mouth is. They gave $10 to $20 million into a farmer's fund, anywhere from Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire to Maine. Connecticut did zero. And that doesn't sit well with us. I mean, the farmers are our neighbors, our friends. This is where we get our food. We cannot have them question whether they should be in business every year. So that's what HB 5255 does. Last is working with the Public Safety Committee on recruitment and retention issues with our police officers, making sure that there's post-career health care that is long-term. In Connecticut, we're having a difficult time with police officer recruitment and retention, and we need to do a better job. Because this is talking about, I think, new things and things that we haven't talked about before, I did just want to reference the photo here, which is the water tower at the Veterans Home. I get emails on this constantly. Can we repaint the water tower? Can we do something with the water tower? Well, I'm here to announce that the water tower will be repainted. It will keep the same colors. The Veterans Affairs Department does have money to do this, and it is a beacon for aircraft, so we can't change it and put cool Rocky Hill logos on it. But it will be repainted so that it doesn't look so run down in the future. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we will move along and introduce our town manager, Ray Carpentino.
Well, I tried to get out of the back door, but that didn't work. So here I am. I'm going to move ahead here a bit. Well, good morning once again, and welcome to our award-winning, beautiful senior community center. As you may know, I'm Ray Carpentino. I'm the town manager. And I applaud Mayor Marotta and Representative Wood for organizing Rocky Hill's first annual State of the Town. Following my brief talk, you'll be hearing from a number of my department heads on some of the exciting, maybe not so exciting, there we go, projects and activities that we're working on. I'm sorry, you're so easy. As for me, I just want to mention a few things. We've been able to present some concepts that go beyond the status quo, which have sparked some conversation amongst the town council, the staff, and the taxpayers. Over the past years, we've implemented a new transparent, web-based budgeting approach and a capital planning approach. We've been able to explore matters such as restructuring our fair rent process, sustainability, a comprehensive approach to reduce our energy consumption and use, which you'll hear about in a few minutes in more detail, adoption of a number of ordinances to assist our farmers, our veterans, and our first responder families. We're proud of our accomplishments, such as approval of our Complete Streets policy, our affordable housing plan and commission, the remediation and redevelopment of the Rocky Hill Community Farm, and the sitting of our new police chief, who you will hear from very soon, and the list goes on. now as the former Economic Development Director for Rocky Hill, I'm compelled to offer just a blip on economic development. I just can't get it out of my system, I guess. Like they say, location is everything. These geographic conditions that you see popping up on the screen, we're 500 miles within a third of the U.S. economy, 500 miles to 2/3 of the Canadian economy, and you can read the list. But those geographic conditions have afforded Rocky Hill an established corporate footprint, a highly educated and skilled workforce, a diverse housing stock, award-winning schools, and a very comfortable quality of life. Now, moving on to the future, we endeavor to continue seeking out regional partnerships, invest in education while keeping our schools safe, maintain a 30% commercial tax base, which for a suburban town is very, very strong. Continue to seek alternative energy sources, continue to pursue sustainability, assure first-rate EMS, fire, and police services well into the future, increase our bond rating from AA+ to AAA, manage our energy costs, manage our solid waste costs and recycling programs, continue to build connections to the Connecticut River and to our town center, provide housing for everyone, and care for and provide for our seniors, our most valuable residents. So with that, I say thank you, and let's move on to, I think, Chief Klett, correct?
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Chief Klett, proud to serve as your police chief since this July. I've been in the town with you for 25 years. I know many of your faces, and those of you who don't, please say hi to me. I try to make trips over to the senior center often to say good morning, have a cup of coffee. It's one of my favorite stops during the day. Per Ray's instruction, I was asked to give you 2 slides and a very short conversation, so that's what I set out to do. One big thing and one big piece for us is we are now going through our national CLIA reaccreditation process. It is something I'm very proud of, something that as a commanding officer, lieutenant, when I was part of the police, back when I was a lieutenant, was something I was highly involved with within my division. And now as chief, it's something we strive to continue to maintain that accreditation. We have our assessment coming up next month, at the end of this month. And what's really awesome about this program is we are one of 33 towns that is nationally accredited for our policies and our procedures and our operation. And that's a hard thing to obtain, and it's even harder to continue to be reaccredited. So essentially, like being audited every year, like the town is for their finances, we are audited for what we do, audited for how we perform, making sure that we're actually practicing what we preach. And what's really great about this program for you as taxpayers and you as community members is there's a greater level of accountability, increased legal defense from civil litigation, increased community advocacy, and it's a requirement that we continue to operate under these best practices. So we are being held by a higher standard. We elect to do that. It is not something we're forced to do. We are very proud to continue that process and looking forward to that assessment. And some of you here may actually see our assessor. He's a chief coming from the state of Georgia, and he will be going around talking to folks throughout town and getting your feedback from you directly. So if you do bump into him, please tell him the truth, and we're happy to hear the feedback. Another thing I'm very proud of, and something that we're working on this year as part of my new position, is to kind of expand and continue our community events. Lieutenant Morgan in the corner over there, Acting Lieutenant Morgan, is really our driving force behind a lot of that programming. But coming this year, we're very proud to announce that we're going to be here back in this room on March 14th, putting together an Atlas I notification seminar or training. So we share our emergency information through an app that is on your phone. It's web-based through Google or Apple. And sometimes it can be a little technical to download. So we'll be here on the 14th to help anyone who wants to be here, part of the community, to get updated on their phone. so we can share real-time emergency information with you as fast as we can. Another program we're very, very proud of, and it's going to be coming up rapidly, is on August 6th is National Night Out, and that's a great program where we go out and our officers interact with the public at Elm Ridge Park, where we hold activities. One year we had a dunk tank, I think, and Acting Lieutenant Morgan was in his wetsuit getting wet and cold and 40-degree weather. You know, it's a great event. I really recommend if you haven't been there, you come out and see us. And a couple programs that we're currently active and we're very proud of as well. We have an internship program. If you have anyone who's interested, they can reach out to us. We have an intern right now from Central conducting 120 hours. We do a Rocky Hill Job Shadow program with the high school. Community Resource Officer Football Fridays. I wish I could have more time to send pictures and bring him up and tell you what he's doing, but over at Mosier School, every Friday our SRO is playing football with the kids and encouraging activity. It's a fantastic program. Ride-alongs and child safety seats. So we do it all. I don't have more than 2 minutes, so I'm going to end it here, but I thank you very much for your time, and I hope to interact with you soon enough. Thank you.
So, Ray, we're going to have a conversation because you told me one slide. Just want you to know. You told me one slide. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dana McGee. I am the Director of Human Resources, Legal Compliance, and Risk Management for the town of Rocky Hill. And if you haven't heard this enough, I'm going to say it again. You live, work, and do business in an award-winning town. I want you to know that one of the areas that you also win awards in, you are continually recognized by insurance organizations for having one of the lowest rates of public officials' liability matters out of all the municipalities in the state of Connecticut. What this means for you is that your tax dollars don't go towards paying settlements for bad cases, et cetera. Your tax dollars go to bringing in the best and the brightest relative to recruitment and retention for top talent public servants. Just to give you an example of how we do that, when it comes to recruiting and hiring top talent, we cast a broad net. We ensure that our processes are very much objective. Our screening methodologies meet muster relative to judicial reviews, et cetera. And when it comes to workplace climate and safety issues, our employees get continual training on keeping our workers' claims low, fewer accidents. That translates into, again, your money being used in the right places. On the horizon, we'll be looking at professional and leadership development programs and succession planning, but I can't stress enough how nice it is to work in a town and to share with you the news that, again, you are an award-winning town, even relative to how your municipal organization manages its risk. Thank you.
Wait, there's a lot of buttons up here. Space button. Well, good morning. I'm Mike Garahy. I'm the fire chief for the town, lifelong resident of the town of Rocky Hill, graduate of the high school. Very proud to be in the fire department. I've been in there a long time. I'm not going to tell you how long. But in keeping with the orders today, 2 slides and about a dozen words, so I'm going to move on. Look at it, he's coming up to move me off already. There's my contact information, and I'm going to move into a quick little video.
Rocky Hill Fire Department, single safety structure fire. Needs 1 3 truck 2. Call in the working structure fire, fully involved.
The lights go on, the sirens. It's just kind of like this adrenaline rush.
PMC advising it's happened.
Call for responding. Engine 1 2. Engine 2 responding. Rescue responding. Bring Marine 1.
We are a very busy department.
We're about to get some water on the fire.
Fire calls, rescues, hazardous materials. There's nothing we won't do.
Coming in, you don't know what to expect, but as soon as you walk in through these doors, it's a brotherhood.
It's a good club, it's a good social aspect, it's a good place to learn, grow. You have a time commitment, the fire department takes care of the rest.
I had no experience. I had certain kind of doubts, like could I keep up and would I pick up the knowledge as quickly? But all the training that we get teaches us firsthand how to deal with situations. I just feel like we got a great core of firefighters here, from young people to people who with 30 plus years of experience. It's invaluable how their experience helps.
Rocky Hill is a very interesting town. We have large food warehouses, one of the largest apartment complexes in the state of Connecticut. I-91 running right through the center of town. I believe 250,000 cars a day, or the Connecticut River. We cover it all. We have a lot of benefits, everything from pay-per-call to a $2,000 tax abatement to a pension plan to scholarship program.
The support is tremendous. We have a mentorship program that I'm still going through right now. Anytime I have a question, I just ask. They make sure that you learn things along the way, and you really shouldn't feel any pressure when you're joining.
This job makes you a better person, a better human being, and better prepares you for a lot of life's challenges.
I can't even begin to tell you how many times somebody pulls me over for a second and share with me their appreciation for the fire service.
That's kind of the main purpose of this, you know, being able to get out there, help people, help citizens just like ourselves.
We've had many people with apprehensions about joining. It can be intimidating walking through that front door. They'll tell you it was one of the best things they ever did.
The amount of fulfillment that you get out of it, the gratitude you get from your community is definitely worth it.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to hear from Steve Sobolak next. I'm not sure if he's, yes, he is here. Thank you, Steve. So Steve is our Director of Community Development.
Spacebar. So, as the mayor said, I'm Steve Sobolak, Director of the Community Development Services. I don't know how I follow up an Emmy Award-winning Dick Wolf production there, Chief. Thanks. I head up building, planning, engineering, quite a few projects. And one of the things we get asked a lot is about the Silas Deane Highway. And last year, in conjunction with the town of Wethersfield, we applied for and received a $781,000 grant. It's called Safe Streets for All. And it encompasses a 4.1 mile corridor from the city of Hartford south to Parsonage Street in Rocky Hill. And the purpose of the grant is to study multimodal transportation, mouthful. That'd be cars, trucks, bus, pedestrian, bike, ped, accessibility, equity, which ties into what you've heard already, and connectivity. The study is going to include traffic, roadway design, access, land use adjacent to the highway, again, the multimodal transportation, vulnerable users, access for the future, look at alternatives, and just general transportation improvements. And one of the big issues we have is at exit 24 on the Silas Deane, where it meets I-91. And you can kind of see from this aerial, there is a sidewalk. Let me point here. And it just ends. And as you can see from the street view, it's kind of difficult to stick a sidewalk under the highway, and that's been a big request over the years. Part of this grant is going to look at that and try to address. That'll be a lot of work with the state trying to do away with those. Instead of the sweeps on the ramps, hopefully put just everything to a traffic light. Because one of our issues is pedestrian strikes. So if we put sidewalks across those, people flying around, especially on the southbound to go south on 91 on 99, it's very dangerous. They fly off of there. Lots of traffic history there. So that's my little bit. 2 minutes. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Stuart Topoff. I'm the assessor. Many of you know I just sent you notices of revaluation. Yep, fully understand. But I'm going to talk about the current market conditions today. But first, when I started here 19 years ago, we had approximately about a $2 billion grand list. After this latest revaluation, we're up over $4 billion. So what's attributed to that? So far, everything you've seen here today, with the fire department, the police department, our park and rec department, I'm sure they'll get up here and tell you all the good things they do, this building. So all these things that the town have done over the last 19 years is indicative of the valuation growth in people's property, because people want to live here. And they want to live here because of all the things that they do. And I use Rocky Hill as an example wherever I go, because we do a lot of good things. So with that, with my limited 2 minutes, just a little bit about the current market conditions. Since the October 1st revaluation, our real estate values have gone up about 9%, with the median sale price of $322,000. So that's about a 9% increase as well. So people still want to be here. And the biggest question I get is, where can I find a house? And I just say contact your local real estate agent, because they're out there. You just got to be prudent and really keen on where to look. But with that, we just completed our 5-year cycle of revaluation. And Rocky Hill is a trendsetter in the state, I think, with all the things they do. Because if you listen to the fire and police chief, you see that they're doing a lot of great things. But this year I'm going to be proposing to do annual revaluations. And why is that good for you? The reason why that would be good for you, because many of you saw your increase, the percentage increase, and you said, oh my God, the world came to an end. Well, this will take away from that. It'll show just a rolling hill, the small ups and downs, and it'll even out. And as the market changes, we'll be able to better reflect the market prices on an annual basis. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. It'll be a lot of work for us and the town, but at the end of the day, I think it'll truly reflect that the process will be a better process. And that is all I have.
Hello, everyone. My name is Phil Sear, Facilities Director for the Town of Rocky Hill. These are Facilities Department projects for this year. In 2024, the construction industry will recognize LED lighting to be used going forward. As a result, existing field lighting with 1,500 watt incandescent lamps and baluses will no longer be manufactured. In addition, LED lighting rebates and incentives will be eliminated also in 2024. We will be using Eversource's 0% financing on bill payments, in addition to using solar credits from the town solar farm to pay down 100% loan over the next 6 years, 0% loan over the next 6 years. This is helping us take advantage of the rebates and incentives. At the next 6 years, this is helping us take advantage of rebates and incentives that will be going away in 2024. This is just the locations of the parks that we are going to be retrofitting field lighting: Elm Ridge, Rocky Hill High School, Maxwell Park. Included with the mechanical equipment replacement, 4 hanging forced air gas furnaces, which are 25 to 30 years old, high efficiency hot water heaters for the library, town garage, parks garage, boiler pipe insulation at firehouses 1, 2, and 3, 3 HVAC rooftop units, and 3 boilers at town hall, and 1 chiller unit at the police department. The replacement of the lighting and equipment would prevent repair costs for many years that are seeing now, we are seeing now and going forward until replacement. This will eliminate the need to budget and fund these items through capital improvements. There wouldn't be a need for a project this size to go to referendum. And then there will be an immediate electrical and gas usage savings in addition to a small dent in the carbon footprint upon completion of the project. And that's it, and thank you.
And we're going to hear from our final director this morning, Gina Marino, who is the Director of Senior Services.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gina Marino. I'm the Director of Senior Services, which encompasses the Senior Center and our handicap van transportation. I'm going to start off with a little video. I hope. Spacebar? No, went back. That's okay.
The joy of being in a senior center is meaning your life continues to expand. The things you can give and the things you can receive happens at a senior center.
The senior center offers so much, and I wasn't aware of that until I joined.
I'm here just about every day. Everybody comes here to have a good time.
It's a great way to meet with your peers and to do the things that you enjoy doing.
You do make friends here. I got to know my best friend here.
I really think that senior centers are great and enjoyable.
It's nice to have a community of people who have the same creative bend.
Activities are different every day, so there's always something to do. You meet people, you do things, you're creative, you learn.
The sense of community is just amazing here.
It's a place for everybody.
Just give it a chance.
This senior center is fantastic.
That sums it up, really. That's what a senior center is. And believe it or not, many of you in here qualify to come to the senior center. 55 years and older. And if you live in Rocky Hill, it's a free membership. So I encourage you all to come. We have a lot of programs. We have our Compass, which is a bi-monthly newsletter, 20 pages long, and it has something for everyone. One of the things we try to do here is if you have an idea for a program, we try to put it together for you. And that's why we're successful, because we listen to what people have to say. It's very important. One of the things that we're bringing in May is Silver Sneakers classes. We'll have 6 different classes, 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and 2 on Thursday. It's hard to find instructors, and we finally found a very qualified instructor. So that'll be coming out. That's something new. The other thing we're working on is we're transitioning from paper products to real dishes, melamine dishes and cups and silverware for our lunch program. We will hopefully be composting the food that's left over. So we're looking to the future to bring our senior center into what needs to be done. One of the biggest things that we are known for and what keeps this center going is our volunteer program. We have nearly 100 volunteers. One of our volunteers who manages our gift shop is here this morning, and she has offered to open the gift shop early for all of you. So if you'd like to go in and get some goodies, I shop there all the time. They have beautiful items, and everything in there is handmade or from local vendors. And I just wanted to, if there's business people here, we like to partner with our community. We have presentations. You also can co-sponsor an event. We do at least 2 monthly special events that include a wonderful meal, entertainment, and that's made possible by our local businesses who are very generous. If anyone would like a tour of the building after this program, I'll be outside by the cafe, and I would be happy to give you a tour. I also have some newsletters right over there where Mario is. You want to pick one up? If anyone wants a newsletter, I'll give you one of those as well. Thank you.
I'm back. Why do I have to follow videos? Everybody has these nice video productions. So I remember presenting Kim Ritchie, who's our town planner. She fell ill yesterday, so she's not able to be here. So I'm an engineer, not a planner, so I don't pretend to play one on a video. So affordable housing, big topic. The state has a statute, 830G, which requires all towns to have a affordable housing plan, and it has to be updated every 5 years. I'm proud to announce that in 2022, the end of 2022, they've adopted a plan. One of those items was to name a commission, which at the last town council meeting, they named the commission of 5 regular and 2 alternates. So that's exciting, and now we can get down to business. So affordable housing, as it says, affordable apartments, middle-priced housing, rental assistance. Some of the pictures here you see, tiny homes. I'm not sure if that's in the zoning yet. I think most of these pictures are of items in town too. The bottom one is what's coming to the center of town, the old Ames. That's Kelson Row, the top right corner. That was the Vessel, which is a big controversy in the center of town. They're going elsewhere now in town. They're going to be putting up 2 buildings. And the beautiful thing about some of these new apartment complexes that are coming is they're going to be offering up 30% affordable. The state's set a goal for the towns to be 10%. We're not quite there yet, but 30% on a lot of our newer apartment developments, or there's some that are going to be old office buildings converted to apartments. They're offering up 30% affordable. So that's great news for, and affordable is just not, you think of affordable, that's for your teachers, like my son. He doesn't make a lot of money. He's affordable housing kind of guy. Young folks just getting started. They want to live in the town they work, and it's hard when median prices are $500,000. They can't afford those houses. So this is the first step for those kind of kids. Thank you.
So I think Senator Matt Lesser is here now. We're going to call him up. Thank you, Senator.
Good morning, everybody. Al Hammer, I just observed that I needed to wait until I had a cinnamon bun in my mouth before I got called up. But it's good to see everybody and be part of the state of the town. We are right in the middle of the thick of the legislative session, so there's a lot of stuff happening right now. I serve on 6 committees. I think maybe one more, I can't remember. But there are a lot of bills that are out there that affect the quality of life in Rocky Hill. So it's important to hear from all of the town agencies. I've had a recent conversations working with the fire department on an issue that is of concern, but there are a lot of different issues that are bubbling up through the legislature. So it's important to maintain lines of communication if you're a resident, but also if you're a small business or an agency in the town. There's been the last budget, we were able to get a ton of additional funding for Rocky Hill, including expanded support for the school district, but there are a lot of additional things to focus on going forward. And I go through all of the different areas where we've provided either bonding support or state grants that have been helpful and supported the town and the Rocky Hill Veterans Home, and certainly we're working with the federal government and Wethersfield on the Silas Deane corridor study. So some of the things that I'm particularly focused on, the committee I chair, we're looking at prescription drug prices. We pay the highest prescription drug prices in the world. Medicaid rates, we have not adjusted Medicaid rates for providers since 2007, and that isn't just about low-income people. It is about low-income people, but it's not. It's about seniors. It's about nursing homes. It's about 40% of the kids in the state get their health care through that program. So it's really critical for our healthcare system that we pay a reasonable rate for the Medicaid program. It's also critical for our nonprofits, which are really struggling right now with inflation. And we have to just keep up with the cost of things. And that, obviously, if we don't do that, that threatens all of us who have private insurance. It's a real systemic issue when the state doesn't adjust the costs. And then making sure that we're fully funding education is critically important. And there are a bunch of things that are happening right now on that front. One of them, we had towns are not getting on excess cost for special education, the funding that they thought they were going to get. That is an issue that I think we are hoping to fix in the state budget. Two, there was an issue when we voted on the last budget. There was a projection of how much funding towns were going to get in terms of educational cost sharing, ECS funding. That's the main way we fund education in the state. A lot of towns are getting less than that this year for a variety of reasons. And it's a projection, not a promise, but it causes a little bit of budget haywire when you get less money than you were projected. So working on that. But also on the committee that I chair in Human Services, we apparently are bringing in less federal funding for special education than we should be getting. And that when we do that, that puts the burden on taxpayers in Rocky Hill and other towns across the state. So we have a bill to look at bringing in additional federal funding. We'll be holding a hearing on that on Tuesday. And I'm excited that could be a real prospect for providing some relief to taxpayers, but also funding the special education services that kids in the state really need. I mentioned nonprofit funding, and of course, there are a lot of tenants in Rocky Hill. We, on the Housing Committee, we're looking at additional protections for them. There have been a lot of changes since the pandemic that have adversely affected tenants. There are a lot of complaints about that, and that we're looking at as well. So I know there are a lot of speakers this morning, but great to be with all of you. And if I can ever be of assistance, please, that's not me. Please reach out, send me an email, give me a call, and happy to work with you, Mayor Marotta, Ray, and the whole town. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Mark Zito, Superintendent of Schools. Appreciate the invitation from the mayor. Really glad I came today. I realized I'm now eligible for the senior center. So that's exciting. I just made the cut about a month and a half ago. So I'm excited to represent our school district today. First thing I want to do is recognize some of our board members that are here. See Mr. Tom Kosker, Board of Ed. Ms. Baron Morphia, Jennifer, is here. Also on the board, I think Jay Chabra is here. And Lori Bosky, are you still here with us this morning? Former board member, long time on the board. So they are aware of most of what I'm going to share with you, but if you're not aware of what's going on with the Rocky Hill Public Schools, I want to just mention a few things. First of all, we are an organization that remains committed to teaching and learning, so I really appreciate the mayor inviting me to come here and speak this morning. Our core mission is student achievement. We have the highest test scores in our district reference group consistently over the last several years, And we couple that with what we feel is a very efficient budgeting process, which takes the interest of the taxpayers and keeping costs down as a core thing we focus on as well. So we're getting really high results at a very reasonable cost on a per pupil basis. It's really about the families in town and serving those kids. The teaching staff we have in Rocky Hill is top notch. All of our positions are filled. We have a very competitive hiring process, great teachers in the classroom supported by really strong administrators, and a vibrant 21st century curriculum. And when you combine those factors with that family support, it's not surprising that we see such excellent results in terms of student achievement and preparing kids for life beyond the K-12 system as they move into college or into the world of work. So we're very proud of our academic achievement, but a school system is more than just academic achievement. In terms of extracurricular activities, the vast majority of our high school kids are involved in other activities, not just sports, but things like the band, chess club, other Model UN. We just started a Model UN club. And we know from the research that when students are engaged in their school with extracurricular or co-curricular activities, that they perform extremely well academically. So there's a whole body of research on that, how important that is. So we're very proud of the work that our staff does with our kids, particularly at the high school level after school. The girls basketball team just had a great run, had a chance to go to 2 playoff games, two wins. They lost in the 3rd round of the state playoffs, but a great run. Our ice hockey team, I think tonight they play a state quarterfinal game or tomorrow night. We're very proud of the accomplishment of the kids on the field as well. And again, like I said, award-winning band program. Tonight, if you have an opportunity, we have an art show at the Cora J. Belden Library. K through 12 kids will be showing off their artwork. Come on over and take a look at that. It's a very popular event. So very proud of the work of our students and our staff. I see a school district as an integral part of what goes on within a community. So we are very blessed to be serving the community of Rocky Hill. We have an excellent collaborative relationship with the town. Mr. Carpentino has been outstanding to work with. I was invited to participate in a get-to-know-you session several years ago with the candidates for town manager, and my advice back to Dana McGee was make sure you get Ray. He's really good. So we've been really pleased to have that relationship here with the town, and obviously with our mayor, who's been very supportive of the school district. We have a great park and rec department in Rocky Hill. We work very closely with that department. Planning, zoning, all the department heads that came up today, we have an excellent relationship with them. So that's really important. Not every town has that connection or that synergy between its school district and the municipal side, and I think we have that very strongly here in Rocky Hill. I want to mention our first responders. It was a great video. Like Chicago Fire video today was awesome. The police department and the fire department have been very good partners. Chief Klett spoke earlier about some of the things going on in the schools. I am very, very pleased to have police officers serving in our schools as school resource officers. The most important thing they do is keep everybody safe in our schools. But beyond that, the relationship that they have developed with the kids is remarkable. Chief Klett talked about the Football Friday over at Mosier School. We have coloring with cops. There's all kinds of initiatives where the police officers are working very closely with students to show them that if you develop a positive relationship with the police, they're here to help you. They're here to support you. They're here to mentor you and guide you. And it's been really, really important. Not every community has a school resource officer program. We're very lucky to have it. And again, that's directly attributable to the support from the town council and the mayor's office. And I'll leave you with this. In terms of special ed programming, we have greatly increased the number of in-district programs. And the goal there with our students with special needs is to keep them in Rocky Hill instead of outplacing them. We want to serve them here in our town so they can remain part of their community. We want to ensure success for all of our students, even those kids with the biggest challenges in life from a special needs perspective. And I'll end with this. If you haven't been over to the Dream Cafe, it's a new program we started this year, just opened about a month ago. It's over on New Britain Avenue, underneath Kumar's restaurant over there. That's a program serving students with very severe disabilities, ages 18 through 22. I see a council member here, Mimi Thoreau. I think she's a regular. Mimi, put your hand up. Every time I'm there, I've seen you. So today, if I go over there, I think you'll still be there when I get there. 2 places at once. But this has been an outstanding program. It's unique, one-of-a-kind program where students with severe disabilities have an opportunity to work in the public sector kind of situation where they're interacting with the public. They're out serving coffee, serving pastries, working with non-disabled peers and trusted adults. It's really, really remarkable. The goal here is to have those kids learn the kinds of skills that they can then transition into the workforce when they turn 22. And historically, if you look at special education in our country, that has not always been the case. When kids leave the school system, historically, unfortunately, many of them just go back home and spend the day on the couch watching TV and so forth. And we have really high aspirations for these kids, and then we're off to a great start with it. So, again, we appreciate the support of the town. Very, very blessed to be here today. Thank you for the invitation, and look forward to hearing the rest of the speakers. Thank you.
So we heard a lot recently about early voting, so we thought it would be important to give a couple of minutes of time to our Registrar of Voters Department, and so we're going to welcome Phil Thoreau.
Hi, as the mayor, thank you, Madam Mayor. As the mayor said, my name is Phil Thoreau. I'm the Democratic Registrar of Voters. My counterpart, Tom Pugliese, the Republican Registrar of Voters, is here. And I just wanted to quickly let everybody know the dates of when early voting is going to take place and where it's going to take place. So behind us at the end of this building is an arts and crafts room past the gym. That is where early voting will take place. For the April 2nd presidential preference primary, early voting will be March 26th, 27th, and 28th. That's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And it'll be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday is Good Friday. There will be no early voting. Saturday, the 30th, it will be open from 10 to 6 for early voting. If there is an August primary, early voting will take place in the same room. August 5th through 11th, that's 7 days, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., except for the last Tuesday and Thursday of that period. It will be open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Early voting for the actual election is going to be 14 days, October 21st through the 31st, and November 1st through the 3rd. The hours, again, the same room. The hours will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., except for the last Tuesday and Thursday. That'll be October 29th and 31st, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If anybody has any concerns or questions about early voting, I urge you to go on to myvote.ct.gov, and they have all the questions answered there. And you can also go to the Secretary of State of Connecticut's website, and she has a lot of information. Thank you.
Okay, we had a wonderful opportunity to partner with the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce recently, and we've now become a separate and distinct division, the Rocky Hill Division. And so here to talk a little bit about that partnership and all the wonderful things that the Chamber has to offer, I want to introduce you to Chris Cambereri, who is the Director of Economic Development for the Chamber.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. I, too, just learned that I am a senior, and I might be joining your, your superintendent at the Silver Sneakers class when it comes up. We'll be buddies in that class. As your mayor said, my name is Chris Cambereri. I am the Director of Economic Development at the Middlesex Chamber of Commerce. We're very happy to have Rocky Hill as our partner and a great example in the region as what a community could do when they work together. Let me put my glasses on here, I'm sorry. So what I do is I work on initiatives that advance the growth and opportunity in people, businesses, the community, and the region. One of the committees that I co-chair is the Economic Development Steering Committee, where economic development professionals from the region, we have Rocky Hill included, come together to collaborate and talk about what's going on in our towns. Rocky Hill is a great example with Kelson Row, a great example of economic revitalization. With the development at Kelson Row, what we have is an area that has been in disrepair for 20 years, that's been cleaned up. We have housing where we could bring our young professionals, recent college graduates, to an area that they want to live, work, and play. Keep our parents and grandparents happy that we're keeping our kids in the state, and help our workforce issues. So with that, we also have many other developments in our region similar to Kelson Row, similar revitalization areas. We have Brainerd Place in Portland, mixed-use development. We have the Red Lion in Cromwell, which hopefully will get underway this year. The Westbrook Outlets down in Westbrook, which is just planning a 536 apartment complex, townhomes, and mixed-use development. So all these things are great for our region. It spawns other economic activity and really helps the area and helps the tax base along the way. And the last thing I want to touch on that the Middlesex Chamber is doing, we're monitoring pretty closely the light removal on Route 9. So this is, I think, the third stab at it with the DOT in the past 20 years. There is a challenge right now with the northbound exit into Middletown. So between the local towns and the DOT, they're working on the best case solution so it doesn't put all the traffic onto Main Street, clog all the streets there, and cut off any economic activity east of the river. So those are just some of the things that we look at and we monitor. We're happy to have Rocky Hill as a partner. You're a great example for the region, and I have to tell you, in our Economic Development Steering Committee meetings, some of these smaller towns along the river, they really look up to their big brothers and big sisters in Rocky Hill. So thank you for everything you do for the Chamber and for your community. Thanks.
So I think we've heard a lot of exciting things today. And, one of the things you always hear me say is that, Rocky Hill is the fastest growing municipality in Greater Hartford. And it really underscores that very simple thing that we all know is that folks really come here, they gravitate here, and we stay here once we're here because of our strong schools and our quality services and our competitive mill rates. And it's because of all of these incredible departments and the folks that work here that we enjoy this quality way of life. So I really want to thank each and every one of them for doing what they do on a daily basis. One of the things we boast, in addition to being the fastest growing, is we have a growing diverse population, with 20% of our population coming from the AAPI community. We've been very intentional in our policymaking and in our programs to ensure that everyone feels welcome in Rocky Hill. We've become a champion for sustainability. We've received numerous accolades over the past few years, particularly with respect to economic development initiatives. And we recently ranked number 7 in the state of Connecticut for the best suburb for young professionals. Of course, growth has its challenges, and year after year there seems to be growing challenges, but we always rise above them. We come together as a community, and that's one of the wonderful things about being mayor is the strong sense of community that we all feel. Businesses, big and small, as Chris mentioned, really are the driving force of a thriving community. You know, they pull people in, they bring in new businesses, they help us expand our base, and they create a sense of belonging. And we are really, truly grateful for all of you who are in this room, who are business owners, who have invested in our community, those who work in big businesses. We thank you, and we want you to know that we consider you not just a business, but a community partner, and we want to hear from you. So I encourage all of you to reach out to either myself or to Ray. We want to know what keeps you up at night, what keeps you here, and how can we keep you here in Rocky Hill, because that's super important to us. A couple of things, I'll just end with this, the priorities that I'm working on this year. One of them is getting more folks engaged in what we do. We have a bazillion at this point, committees, commissions, boards, task forces, and we want to make sure that we have voices from every community within our community at that table, right? And one of the things that's very difficult is getting people to volunteer. It's a little bit intimidating. It's a heck of a lot time consuming, but it's super rewarding, and it's essential that if everyone is going to feel safe and comfortable in our community, that they know they have a voice. And so we're going to be working really, really hard to get out there and pull people in to get and belong with our local government activity. And then the last thing, of course, it's budget season, which I hear is the second most wonderful time of the year. And, you know, we have challenges. I mean, like any other community has challenges. But one of the things I think we've done a good job at is making sure that we're living within our means. And that's super important, because the more we borrow money, the more taxes go up. So now that we've created this, what I think is a sustainable pattern of working within our budget, what we need to start focusing on this year is really putting aside that money for capital expenses. And it's not always easy. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I guarantee you that once we start saving for some of our major capital improvement programs, we're going to see a really important shift in terms of how we're able to do more things in town and keep our mill rate competitive. And so I'm really excited to let you know that our finance director, who is an award-winning finance director, she has created a new capital improvement plan that she's going to introduce. It's part of what our town manager had mentioned, this new interactive program where you can go online. Everything is very transparent. You can see what the ask is, how we are prioritizing needs, how we intend to fund those needs, what the timeline is. You can see photos, and that's really a big, important initiative for us this year. So in closing, I want to thank Representative Carrie Wood for partnering with me to bring this very first event together. Carrie ran around speaking to businesses, and I think we got a really beautiful display of breakfast items. So I hope you've all had an opportunity to enjoy. If you haven't, please do. And we want to certainly thank all who have donated to our breakfast this morning, and that these are actually new businesses, so that's an exciting thing as well. We have Annie's Table, BK Bake Market, Mazzucato di Pasquale, the Dream Cafe, and of course, Patty Cakes. And so we went a few minutes over, but I would like to open the floor to questions. If anyone has a question, now's the time to ask, because everybody's in the room. Yes. So you're saying down by the river where the silos are? So that particular parcel where that old body shop is actually part of the Foundry property. And so as you know, that Foundry property has been one of those projects that has stalled, for lack of a better word. And I think we probably had an update maybe 8 months ago from the owner's representative that the last go around they were looking to redesign the interior floor plans of the project that's going in, right? So we actually need to call them back into town hall and see what the status is for that. It's been a long time in the making. It's certainly something that we've tried to incentivize, but as with any type of privately owned property, we really are sort of at the beck and call of what that owner wants to do. So we are told every 6 months that there's something coming and there's something in the works, but yeah, that's not something that we can actually purchase. It's owned and it's part of that Foundry parcel. Any other questions? Okay, well, I thank all of you for coming, and I thank our speakers.